Hey there folks, Wrel here, and welcome to the Auraxium update for December 20th, 2014. Today we'll be mainly talking about the new patch, but I'd also like to mention a couple of channel related updates as well. So on December 18th, the patch introduced a whole lot of changes, the most notable of which are the melee changes, the Spitfire turrets, Tier 4 implants, and a Banshee nerf. Now when it comes to melee changes, they've added the ability to wield any melee weapon that you have equipped. You can do this by pressing and holding the melee key, which is T by default, or you can press the 8 key, which is now your melee slot. You can also rebind this key in the key binding menu. Alongside that, they've added 3 new knives that swing a little bit slower by default, but they can be activated for a one-shot kill. However, hit detection is utterly broken right now. Against any target that's not standing still or moving toward you, you're very likely to miss a shot that should have been a blatant hit. And if you do land a hit, at least on Emerald, that target isn't going to die immediately, which results in a lot more trades, and it makes the knife a whole lot less effective. Outside of that, knifing requires a lot more precision now than it used to, as in you have to have your crosshair directly on the target if you want to hit them. You can, however, also get headshots with knives now, but knives no longer deal damage the moment you press the key. So everything is very weird. The precision I welcome, but the general bugginess of their implementation makes it really difficult to discern whether or not they've been nerfed. And that's definitely what it feels like at the moment. Melee changes were the very first and new thing that I wanted to review, but it's so hit or miss right now, literally, that there's really no point until it gets fixed. It's extremely disappointing coming from someone who really loves to knife people. But hopefully, we'll see that get worked out. Up next is the Spitfire auto turrets, which are new automated defenses for the engineer class. These things are wicked fragile, and you need to resupply after dropping one if you want to drop another. That's a very painful restriction, and they also don't deal a whole lot of damage, but they do have some interesting uses which we'll talk about when we eventually get to a full review. But I am also not going to review these just yet either, because I have a feeling that they're going to be changed in some capacity within the coming weeks. It feels like SOE did basically everything that they could to make sure that these things didn't end up being overpowered, and as a result, they're maybe a little bit underwhelming, but I feel like they're pretty balanced. They do have a role, but it's maybe not the role that they were trying to create in the first place. Because during the live streams and the interviews and whatever else, the devs have stated that one of their goals of having an auto turret in the game was to give players who don't have great twitch reflexes, people who aren't especially good at first-person shooters, give them something that would feel like they're a little bit more productive in a fight. And I'm probably phrasing that poorly, but either way, Spitfire turrets are not that thing. Right now, just due to how fragile they are, the delay between acquiring a target then not being able to kill it very quickly even after that, and the ability to be disabled and distracted and the placement restrictions, they actually require some knowledge of the game to use well, which to me seems kind of like it defeats the point. I mean, they're great for camping jump pads, they're great for finding enemies for you. You can actually equip the marker implant and the turret will spot enemies that it deals damage to. You can thank a subscriber named Dragonsang for getting me to test that earlier today. But they're also decent at harassing light assaults who are trying to C4 your Sunderer, and they're actually really good as supplemental gunfire when you know how to gun with them. But they are still much less effective than dropping a standard turret or an anti-vehicle turret, even if you're only going to use the thing for cover. Actually, somebody in chat earlier today said that they're basically like your own personal battle rank 20, that you can deploy and they'll just shoot whatever they see, and that's a pretty accurate description at the moment. So, long story short is that my personal recommendation is that if you're hard up for certifications, don't buy one of these things just yet. They're fun, sure, but they're just not really there yet, especially if you're the type of player who isn't very good at the game, because you will just end up wasting your time and wasting your money. Beyond that, Tier 4 implants came out, along with some changes to some of the lower tiered implants, and I'm not going to get into this too much, but basically, a number of implants got new ranks which made them more effective, like Sensor Shield, like Clear Vision, and some of those earlier implants basically got nerfed and had their effectiveness spread out over the tiers. So Battle Hardened is one example of this, Regeneration I think is another. Lastly, the other big change is that the Banshee got nerfed, but it does sound really cool now, so, there's that. There was also a load of bug fixes, some quality of life stuff, the new holiday event, which comes complete with its own directive line, And you can now change your profile and your death screen backgrounds. There was some camo changes, and you can also purchase name change tokens for 25 bucks. If you're interested in seeing a full list of changes, and it's a pretty long one, you can check out the patch notes, which are listed in the video description below. As far as the channel goes, I think a number of you are already aware, but I've been revamping the official tutorial videos for the PlanetSide 2 YouTube page. I've only done a handful so far, and only a few of them are out. But if you have any friends who are new to the game or looking for help, you'll find these videos either on the main channel or on a playlist that I have called the PlanetSide 2 Starter Kit, which you'll find a link for in the video description. In addition to a few official videos that I've done so far, there's also a lot of helpful stuff in that Starter Kit playlist. It's basically a compilation of things I feel are most relevant for the new players to learn. The last bit of news I'd like to talk about are some changes being made to how you can support the channel. For those who don't know, the reason that I can even do videos as often as I can is because I have a great community of individuals who help support me financially. So if you'd like to see more videos come to the channel, if you're interested in supporting the community that we have going on here, then you could feel free to do that through patreon.com or other sources that I've linked in the video description. But for those who are currently members of Patreon, I've restructured the rewards a bit. And basically, I've made it so that anyone who offers a couple of dollars will have access to the Patreon page, where I try to post videos in advance, I share concepts for videos and channel ideas beforehand, so that they don't immediately get pushed onto you, because I know that this is a good place for people to give me honest feedback in a clean environment. Also, donors who donate more than the average amount, I'll also list in the credit reel at the end of each video. Lastly, I've recently put up a tier for $15 donors so that we can have a conference call once a month. And a number of you are already $15 donors, so if you want that, you need to go back into your Patreon account and click on that reward, because it is limited right now to 10 people. I may open it up to more people later, but I do want to start small and try to get a good group of people who can ask me questions about whatever they want, share ideas, concepts for new videos, and even talk about struggles that they or their friends are facing in-game, so that I can try my best to offer some advice for that. Of course, all that stuff comes for free to everyone by just commenting in the comments section, and whenever I have a chance to answer, I try to do that. But that is that if you're interested. As far as videos coming up, I'm currently working on a Striker review, which I've actually got mostly complete. I just need some footage using the Striker in a coordinated squad to see if it has any merits there. I'm also doing up a review for the Dark Star, which is going to be my first directive weapon review, and that's a VS Assault Rifle reward. I've also got a max suit slot review penned and ready to go, so there's just footage and math waiting for that. And provided knives and Spitfire turrets get some changes in the near future, you can expect those as well, probably as a priority. If this video has been interesting, helpful, or entertaining, please feel free to like, subscribe, tell your friends about the channel, and I've linked a bunch of interesting posts and recent tidbits, as well as the latest videos that I've uploaded in the video description below. So definitely take a look at that, and also share with me any feedback or advice or ideas that you have for videos that you'd like to see in the future. Thanks very much, folks. Wrel signing off.